Live, local, now. WTOC starts with breaking news.
It's very tough because we have the responsibility of officers on our backs. We want to make sure that not only we go home, but our officers go home safe every night.
A Hardeeville police officer and a Jasper County Sheriff's deputy recovering tonight after being shot in Hardeeville.
Well, this all happened just before 6 at the Sanders subdivision, an area law enforcement and neighbors say is usually pretty safe.
It's overwhelming. I'm just stunned. I'm shocked.
Tonight, we are learning the names of the injured officers. First, there's Jasper County Sheriff's Deputy Justin Smith. Sheriff Curtis Malfris telling us that Smith has been with his department for 2 years.
For Hardeeville Police, Sergeant Kelvin Grant was injured. Chief Sam Woodward says Grant has been with the department for 7 years.
And tonight, still a very active scene there in Hardeeville as the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division takes over this investigation.
We're bringing you team coverage from Sanders subdivision. Wright Gazaway and Sean Evans are both on the scene. We're going to start with Wright, though. Wright, we understand there have been 2 news conferences this evening. What are you learning?
Yeah, still a very active scene out here, guys. Multiple agencies on the scene, but as you said, SLED is investigating. They are leading this case, but deputies with the Jasper County Sheriff's Office and the Hardeeville Police are still out here processing this scene. This initial call came in at 6 o'clock. The report was that a man was shooting at his wife or girlfriend inside a home. When 3 Hardeeville police officers and a deputy responded, that man came outside and immediately started shooting at them. That's when the officers fired back, killing that suspect. The suspect only shot 2 of the officers. He shot a Hardeeville police officer and he shot that deputy, Justin Smith with the Sheriff's Office and Kelvin Grant with the Hardeeville Police Department. They were each shot at least 2 times. They are both expected to survive. This area is in the county jurisdiction. The police came because of the nature of that call. I asked what impact that could have on the outcome, and listen to what the sheriff said.
It's county, however, with a call such as gunfire being reported, they assisted us, to give backup, to ensure safety.
Do you think that backup saved a life today?
It's very possible.
Yes. And the most shocking part is police and both the neighbors here say this is a quiet street. Police would not comment on whether they've been to this house. Guys?
Now, Wright, police were originally called to this home because of a shots fired call related to these 2 in some kind of domestic dispute. The eye injury she suffered, that was not a shot from the gun to her eye, was it?
No, the police and sheriff both said it looked like she was burned in the eye, possibly from that gunfire being so close as he was shooting at her. But the good news is the wounds were not gunshot wounds. She was not injured from the gunfire, and she is expected to be okay. She was taken to the hospital just for precautionary measures.
Right, one more time. What's the condition of those officers tonight?
Both officers are critical, but they are in stable condition. It sounds like the Hardeeville police officer may have gotten worse injuries. He was shot in the arm and in the chest, and possibly in the hand as well, and that sheriff deputy was shot in the arm and under the shoulder as well. But once again, that deputy is talking to doctors, he's talking to investigators. He's a little more alert from what we've been told so far, but the good news is that both officers and the deputy are expected to survive.
Thank you so much, Wright. We're going to continue our coverage now with Sean Evans. Sean, we do know that a chaplain has been made available to help these officers deal with situations like this.
Yeah, guys, as you can imagine, the physical and emotional toll on the first responders here at the scene tonight is a significant one. And out here, no matter the agency, from State Patrol to firefighters, it's a family. They're all working together to get through this. Now, for the officers and deputies who are co-workers of those shot tonight, their agencies are making certain that they are taken care of.
We had the chaplain out here. I had him go up and speak to my 2 officers that's still on the scene that was involved. And again, we'll give them counseling after tonight also.
As you heard, that counseling continuing even beyond tonight. The sheriff also commented that there are similar services available to his deputies as well. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Sean. Here is a quick recap of what we know right now. Both officers are expected to be okay. This happened around 6 p.m. at the Sanders subdivision in Hardeeville. The officers were responding to a domestic dispute. We're told the man who shot the officers was killed by return fire. His identity has yet to be released.
And again, the Jasper County deputy and Hardeeville police officer both expected to be okay, expected to recover. We are told each was shot at least twice. Right now, they are both recovering at Memorial Health here in Savannah, surrounded by their families and fellow officers. And we have all of this information posted, as always, right there at WTOC.com. You can also head to the WTOC Facebook page and watch both news conferences in their entirety. We will continue to keep you updated both online and on air throughout tonight's newscast and tomorrow morning as well.
Well, not even 1 year ago, another Jasper County Sheriff's deputy was injured after a shooting at the Dollar General. Take a look at this video that day back in late June. 23-year-old Raphael Bostic was killed after he shot and injured an officer in the foot. The officer was responding to an armed robbery call at that store.
On the opposite side of the U.S. tonight, 2 other officers recovering after being shot in Seattle. The gunman shot the officers after they responded to a store robbery. One officer, a female, the other a man. Investigators telling us that the female officer's vest protected her from serious injuries. The male officer was shot in the face. He has serious injuries. 2 suspects are in custody. Police say a 3rd suspect has been taken into custody in connection with that shooting.
Well, now to an update of a likely terror attack on police in France. The gunman shot and killed an officer in Paris. We first reported this as breaking news earlier this evening. The gunman was shot and killed by other officers. French authorities are familiar with the gunman, according to a source for CNN. ISIS has taken credit for this attack. Paris prosecutors say they will reveal more details about the gunman in a news conference tomorrow.
Getting back to Chatham County for a moment now, where we are tracking yet another breaking news story tonight. This time, a deadly shooting in Port Wentworth. Police gathering evidence right now in the Rick Creek subdivision. One person shot and killed just before 7 o'clock. Investigators tell us the suspect is in custody. They are not telling us, however, that suspect's name or the name of the victim. We do know the Georgia Bureau of Investigation agents are helping in this case. You can check for updates at WTOC.com.
And in less than an hour, a drinking ban goes into effect on Tybee Island. Police are preparing for a very busy weekend ahead. This as the second Orange Crush event of 2017 is set to begin tonight. Last weekend, turnout was low, but police are expecting a different story these next few days. A drinking ban in all public areas, remember this, will go into effect at midnight. It will take place and last throughout the weekend.
More details tonight on the sale of Memorial Health for $710 million. Here's the breakdown of the 2 offers Memorial has received over the last year. The new deal with the Hospital Corporation of America, also known as HCA, pays off about $300 million in hospital debts, invests another $300 million in new projects. But level 1 trauma and neonatal intensive care services could be gone in just 10 years. It also puts about $100 million in a trust fund for the community, with the hospital authority in control of the purse strings. The previous deal with Novant Health was roughly the same one, with one big exception: no real time limit on keeping services like level 1 trauma and neonatal. There was also no trust fund. HCA is a private corporation, and unlike a nonprofit, it doesn't have to guarantee trauma or neonatal services forever. And a reminder to you of just how important our level 1 trauma center really is. Memorial serves 35 counties in this region. Without it, patients would have to go to Macon or Augusta for those trauma services. The hospital authority stresses these special services are a priority to them.
That's one of the things that the hospital authority has championed throughout this, that we insisted, and that's in writing, that we're preserving the trauma 1, we're preserving the neonatal NICU 3.
The next step is getting the deal approved by Georgia's Attorney General, and hospital leaders plan to move very quickly, trying to seal this deal by the fall. And as you know, WTOC has been investigating this story for years now. To watch our past stories, just go to WTOC.com and click on the WTOC Investigates tab.
Savannah's high today, 86 degrees. Clear visibilities for us tonight. No worries as you look across the city. Looks great tonight. Skies are clear. All the activity much farther to the north, though that trailing front from that system north of us, that's what's going to bring us some showers toward the end of the weekend, we think. But no worries tonight. 69 Savannah, 73 currently Hilton Head, Statesboro at 71, Hinesville currently at 68. Still lots of low 70s, even along coastal areas tonight. That's going to hold on. If you put Bluffton in your phone, that's with your WTOC free First Alert weather app, you'll see these temperatures for the next several hours from midnight through the night. Maybe some patchy fog developing. How about your First Alert forecast? I've got that coming up in just 11 minutes.
Well, new information on what sparked a huge fire last week in Garden City. It burned for hours. The damage is proof electricity and gasoline are a dangerous combination.
Plus, an app on a man's phone helped officers here in Savannah catch a burglar inside his home. More on this quick response just ahead.
But first, we continue to follow breaking news in Hardeeville. The Hardeeville police officer and a Jasper County Sheriff's deputy shot as they tried to help a woman in trouble. Both are recovering tonight at Memorial Health in Savannah. This is a live look as a massive police presence remains on the scene and the investigation begins. You can see it all right there. You can see some shell casings on the ground as well. WTOC's Wright Gazaway joins us in just 3 minutes with reaction from the Sanders subdivision residents.
I don't feel the safety because this tells me that you never know what could take place right in your backyard, so to speak. You just never know.
Sanders Creek residents say this was unexpected. A police officer and a sheriff's deputy shot in a quiet Hardeeville neighborhood.
This is a live look at the scene tonight. Something else not common in the area. Police cars, lights, and officers as far as the eye can see. Thanks for staying with us. We're continuing our coverage tonight after that officer-involved shooting, leaving 2 officers hospitalized and a gunman dead.
Wright Gazaway joining us once again from Sanders Subdivision. And Wright, you spoke with that longtime resident tonight. What is she adding to what happened out there?
Eloise Gilroy has lived out here for more than 4 decades. You heard it there. She says this really just robs her of her sense of safety. She tells me she knows the suspect's mom. She says her heart breaks for her as a mother, understanding what she's going through. She is thankful, though, that deputy and police officer are all right, but I could really sense how shocked she was as I talked to her. Take a listen.
In my dreams, did I think something like this would happen in this neighborhood? Because during my 40-some years living here, we've never had any major tragedy like what happened today.
We're still waiting to get an identification on that suspect. Police would not comment on any record they have on him. But Sanders Road, this is a dead end. This house is the last house back here. It's a quiet neighborhood. They did not say they've ever responded out here. And as you can see behind me, still a very active scene. SLED agents and deputies and police officers will be out here for a while processing this scene. Of course, as we get more information from police, as we learn who the suspect was, and we learn more about this situation, we will pass it along to you. Reporting live in Hardeeville, Wright Gazaway, WTOC News.
Thank you very much, Wright. Right here on WTOC.com, we have been continually updating our posts tonight with all the latest information. You can also head to the WTOC Facebook page to watch both of those news conferences happening tonight in its entirety. We will, of course, forward the latest information along to you both online and right here on the air.
And tonight we are learning what caused that massive fire to break out last week in Garden City. This is one we covered extensively. Shining Star One Incorporated there on Prosperity Drive, still closed after the warehouse and several cars were destroyed. Now, according to the Garden City Fire Marshal, a light shorted out and a spark fell into the gas tank of one of the cars being stored there. Still no word on when that business might reopen.
A Savannah resident thanking his surveillance system for catching 2 burglars in the act. This happened on Levon and Whitfield Avenues today. The homeowner tells us he received an alert on his cell phone and could log on and see the crime in process. He called police officers, and those officers quickly caught the suspects. We're told nothing in the home was taken or destroyed.
Hurricane season normally June through November, right? Normally, that's when we're talking about tropical systems, but this time, here in April, we have a rare tropical storm, Tropical Storm Arlene, which is now intensified up to 50-mile-an-hour winds, still almost 2,000 miles away from Savannah, moving northwest at 28 miles an hour, forecast to make a beeline and perhaps will not even be around in 24 hours from now because much cooler water is ahead. Yes, they can happen in April. We had a January tropical storm last hurricane season. No indication of what kind of season may be on tap for us. But things are very quiet here across the area tonight. Boy, that's for sure. With our clear skies and 69 degrees, 78% relative humidity, great visibility, pressure is rising, and winds are relatively light southwest, currently at 3 miles an hour. Check the temperatures that we expect for tomorrow, and it'll be an even warmer day for tomorrow. 64 up to the upper 80s by the time we get to the end of the day. Little chance of any precipitation. Man, there's just a little bump here at 4 o'clock. Possibly a shower may develop, even a thunderstorm. But if you look at our computer models, there's not a lot going on at all. Here's noon, and things are still very quiet. There's some clouds at 3 o'clock. They'll not even make it to the coastal areas by the time we get to 7. So that's going to allow for a lot of heating. 83 St. Simon. Look at Jessup, 91. Waycross, 92. Douglas will be at 89 for tomorrow. Lots of inland 90s tomorrow as well. Darien, 87. Hinesville will be at 89, and across the low country, Hilton Head the coolest at 81, but a 91 on the other end of the region, and that's in Hampton. And all the clouds that we have been seeing associated with late day showers and thunderstorms, they're going away. But here comes the next chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that could be on Sunday, and that's a big part of our weekend forecast coming up. 62 tonight, 87 tomorrow. Look at the mostly sunny skies. Coleman Ray Saturday morning, no worries. It will be warm, though. Guys, be ready to deal with some heat. 88 for an afternoon high. Then there's that Sunday, now 70% chance of showers, some embedded thunder. You'll see sun early. That'll continue Sunday night into Monday, and it will be cooler as that front passes from the mid-70s back to the low 80s, and again mid-80s by the time we get to the end of our 7-day forecast. But 62 tonight, not even worried about any fog. 87 tomorrow, Dawn, with mostly sunny skies. Make it a great day.
Well, if you're planning a special event or an intimate dinner for two, many are praising the culinary skills of Gina Capers-Willis, the owner of What's Gina Cooking. The Savannah native is a personal chef who does it all, from elegant and simple dinners to just about every dessert you can imagine. She says she's putting a new spin on low country cooking.
I guess I can say I am the new low country because I take old standards and just put a spin on it. I mean, like, right now, one of my famous things are they're cornbread muffins and they're stuffed with turkey and greens.
What?
And people go crazy over them.
That's a meal and a slice of cornbread.
Just one meal in one little pan.
Well, Gina's sharing more of her mouth-watering creations Monday on Bounce Around Savannah. Join us at 7:30 p.m. on Bounce TV.
The cure for late-night munchies may be parked right where you need it. Tonight, Savannah tells local food truck owners to get cooking.
We're still following some breaking news. We're going to give you another live look at the scene on Sanders subdivision in Hardeeville. One Jasper County deputy and a Hardeeville police officer recovering in the hospital after being shot around 6 p.m. We're looking at the Hardeeville police cruiser being processed right now. Still a massive police presence that will be set up for hours into the night. And we have crews still on the scene. Stay right here for all your latest updates. We've also been following the food truck industries grow in Savannah, and tonight is the first night they're allowed to set up for shop in downtown Savannah.
They certainly are, and you can grab a bite from 3 trucks in Johnson Square until 5 in the morning. You'll find Roy's Nuts and Butts serving smoked barbecue, the Squeaky Beaver, and Dark Shark Taco Attack serving specialty tacos. The trucks have 90 days in the spot. They can also let another truck use the spot if they're not going to be there on a certain night. The city of Savannah held a lottery, and out of the 12 trucks that applied in that lottery, those 3 were chosen. They'll be set up from 10 p.m. again till 5 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
Oh, looks so good,
yeah,
too.
It does. Ken Greiner, you and I were kind of having some fun with the NFL schedule that was released today, and Falcons, they got a tough one, all kidding aside.
It's all about parity. Anytime you do good, they kind of even things out, okay? Yeah. Schedules are out, and the Falcons learn with success comes a tougher year. And the Dogs and Yellow Jackets get set for their upcoming spring game.
The WTOC Sports Desk is sponsored by the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
Georgia Tech is ready for their edition of Friday Night Lights as the spring game is set for tomorrow night. The most notable change will be at quarterback as three-year starter Justin Thomas is gone. Kickoff at Grant Field set for 7 o'clock. The Dogs are all set for G-Day this Saturday. There are high expectations for Kirby Smart's squad this season, and it should help that for the first time for this senior class, there aren't any changes on the offensive coaching staff.
Being able to be comfortable is the biggest thing, because you're going in knowing what to expect. Even though we may have changed some schemes and all that type of stuff, it's still very much the same play. So just having that under our belt and knowing that we're not going to have a new playbook or a new coach or any of that type of stuff is just very comfortable for all of us.
Kickoff of the G-Day scrimmage is set for 2 o'clock in Sanford Stadium. The NFL schedules are out for the 2017 season, and the Falcons open on the road September 10th at Chicago. The following week, they're back home for a Sunday night matchup as host to the Packers, and they also travel to New England for a Sunday night, October 22nd matchup. It's been a long 74 days for the Falcons since they let a huge 28-3 lead slip away. Falcons are back at Flowery Branch, and this team is still trying to get beyond the past.
You know, through the offseason, the way they showed up, this is the team that wants to prove things and prove how strong they are, how tight they are, how connected they are. But for us, it goes right back to that competition. So, yeah, obviously we addressed it, but we also talked about now no more looking back in the rear view, and 2017 is officially here, and let's go for it like we've never had before.
Quinn says he's impressed by the level of conditioning these guys have returned to camp with. As for the Braves, they're trying to avoid the sweep, and they do not. Ryan Zimmerman, home run off R.A. Dickey. That's the difference as the Nationals win at 3-2. Steven Strasburg improves to 72-8 when the Nationals score at least 3 runs.
We're continuing to follow this breaking news, and we're going back out live to the scene at Sanders subdivision in Hardeeville, South Carolina. 2 officers shot. Both are expected to be okay. The Hardeeville police chief and the Jasper County sheriff are on their way to Memorial Health in Savannah to check on those injured officers. You can expect this active scene for a few more hours out there tonight.
And a recap of what we do know before we let you go. The shooting happened about 6 o'clock this evening. 4 officers responded to a domestic dispute call. A man was reportedly threatening his wife or girlfriend with a gun. She was injured in the eye, we're told, expected to be okay. She wasn't shot. The suspect is now dead after shooting at deputies, and they fired back. The identity on that suspect has not been released.
Of course, stay with WTO.